welcome to my channel. I am Art Walker and I will be taking you through how to understand three-dimensional objects. If you've not seen my work, I have a varied portfolio of artwork, manga, anime, a lot of anatomy stuff. So this is mainly for beginners. So if you do not understand the basics of drawing, right, the first thing you have to do is have a piece of paper and a pen that works actually. So that's rule number one. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see here, I've got quite a complicated drawing underneath, right? So I'm going to take you through the basic steps as to how I would draw something like that. Initially, you would probably think, nah, this is way out of my league. But in the end, as you can see, all I'm doing is a series of lines, right? So bear that in mind, because that is all these objects are. All of these images here, they're just lines arranged in a specific way. That's all they are. There's nothing complicated about it, I say, but there is, if you get what I mean. So Turbulences, how you doing? So if you look at anything that I draw, it's only a series of, let me just grab something here as well. So here we've got the female body here. So I simply use lines to create this type of image. And it's basically how I arrange those lines. Let me grab one here, something else. This is what I did the other day. And this is basically another series of lines. Do you see what I'm saying? So what lines do I use when I draw something like this? I use these arced lines, multiple arced lines. I might use something similar to an oval shape here and an oval shape here. And then it's just a case of fine tuning that shape to make it look like a bicep, for example. So if you've got a piece of paper, I suggest you get a pencil and get ready to get involved, because that's the best way to learn, I find. So this subject is about three-dimensional shapes, right? So I find that a lot of people, thank you for the likes, by the way, and I appreciate that, because I'm obviously trying to help others that are less fortunate and cannot afford to go to university. Can you get shading tutorial? I've got one on my tutorial, Mikkel. I've got one. I've got a shading. I think it's quite high on the list, actually. Check it out and let me know. I think I did it about a week ago. So we're going to touch on 3D objects, right? So if I draw this, everyone can see what's going on, right? So if I draw this and I ask, we've got 6 in the room, is that a circle or a spherical object? Sorry, this is just a basic tutorial for people that do not understand three-dimensional objects. I'm not doing anything on perspective or foreshortening today. Oh, that is late. But you know there's a YouTube channel, right? You know there's my YouTube channel. So let's get into this 3D stuff, right? Because a lot of people don't get it. So I asked the question, is that a sphere or circle? Unfortunately, nobody answered. However, I'm going to say they're either or. Good day, Commie Arts. Good day. They're either or. All you have to do is simply, let's add a grid to this one. Whoops, got a bit low there, but it doesn't matter. See, so now I've turned this object into a ball that has a mass. Do you see what I'm saying? And this in turn looks like a ring, right? It looks flat. So when you're dealing with 3D objects, right? If I was to draw straight lines on here, you notice that it's flattened. It's actually flattened the object. Thank you for the shares, Commie Arts. I appreciate that. And if you guys do like what you see, please do the same and share for me. So even when I draw hands or the body, as I've got here as an example, right? you have to bear in mind that if I'm drawing a hand, that I draw the knuckle, and this is not just a flat circle, it's a spherical object. So what do I mean by that? If I'm drawing a finger now on the end of that, I'm going to draw it like this. You see that? So that is now a spherical object. It's not flat. Is everyone getting that? So this is a finger, very basic finger, just like that. Is everyone getting that? And thank you for all of the likes already. That is a pretty storming performance, I have to say, to all those that are hitting the like button. Has anyone got any questions about that? And this is it's imperative that you understand this. Even if you are good at what you do, you still have to have a good understanding of three-dimensional shapes, because they do get quite complicated. Good, glad to see it. Right, so bear that in mind, right? So we're talking about three-dimensional objects. So this means you can see something, three sides of an object. So if I have this shape here, right, this square here, and then I draw another one, I'm going to project these lines down. I should do it the right way. Correct way is always better. And then I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to project these lines across again, right? So let's call this number 1, number 2, and number 3, the faces, right? Yeah, I'm goated. Ah, thank you, Dev and Addis. Thank you very much. I hope you're learning something from it. That's why I do it, right? So, and I know this is very basic, but trust me, it's the key to whatever you're drawing, as you can see later on here. So I've labeled these 1, 2, and 3, right? So this looks from here like it's flat. However, when we draw it like this, we are seeing 3 sides of the object, right? So let's call this number 1, face number 1, number 2, and number 3. Is everyone getting that? Is everyone getting that? And thank you very much for the follows, by the way. So this is face 1, face 2, and face 3. How you doing, Violet? Yes, good, good, good. Okay, so let's keep going. So now, if you're wanting to learn how to draw the human body or a hand, for example, I did that yesterday, and I'm going to just show you what I mean when I say everything is about lines and three-dimensional objects, right? So if I'm drawing a hand, I'm going to draw a very quick hand here in my traditional way that I do it, and it's called the crooked house. I know probably many of you have seen this many times, but it doesn't matter. You can always practice it again and again and again. See, so now we have this crooked house tilted downwards, right? And what do I mean when I say a crooked house? I mean this is like a house, right? And all I've done is I've tilted that shape, and now we can see the three dimensions. We can see the top, we can see the front here, let's call that number 2, and we can see the side here, right? In the same way that we've got it here, 3D. Oh, thank you. That's good. Good. This one is a bit of a general tutorial, but I'm just using the hand as an example. So like I said before, we're not dealing with flat circles, we're dealing with spheres, right? So that is a sphere, a spherical object. So every knuckle I'm going to add here is not a circle, it's a spherical object. It's like a marble. I'm going to add a triangle here, and that is also three-dimensional. And then now you can start to see that we've got, let's add the rest of the elements to this hand. Very basic hand, right? Very basic hand, tuck, tuck, tuck. And then the thumb here. What do I need to add to the rest of the hand? Can I be your teacher? I am your teacher. I'm actually your teacher right now. Aren't you lucky? Your wish is my command. So what do we need to add now for the rest of the knuckles? The joints. Brilliant. So there you go. one spherical object, two, bit higher, lower, lower, and then lower still. So now, when you see me draw this for a hand, it's actually this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add these cylindrical shapes here, just very quickly, and then you've got a pretty accurate hand, I would say. And this will help you when you want to draw more complicated hands, which I haven't got an example. Maybe I'll find one on the side here. But if you want to draw more complicated hands, this will help you 100%. And let me just reach down here. So for example, I'm not going to go into hands today, but if you want to draw a hand that's more complicated like this, foreshortened and stuff like that, this is how you learn it, because you can break down everything into basic shapes. This you can find on my YouTube. Good. So this is how we've taken very basic objects. So what did we take to draw that hand? We simply took spheres, we took cylinders. So this is one that we took cylinders, and we had this house shape and a triangle, and a triangle. That's all we had. Do you see what I'm saying? Has anyone got any questions? That's what you're missing. Hold on, let me just catch up on the joints. Cylinders, yeah, that's all. Well, this is it. This is the foundation as to how pretty much everyone draws. However, you get to a point where you don't have to break it down in such a basic form. When you start to have your own flow, then all of a sudden you just start to sketch. But in the back of your mind, you do have these steps in the back of your mind. I miss how to draw the body. I haven't done the body one yet. Cheese Vox, how you doing? No, you're gonna have to. No, we're not just concentrating on the hand. I'm doing pretty much everything. If you want to learn how to draw the hand, you can find that on my feed. If you want that, you can find that. But we are just talking about general shapes, turning general shapes into three-dimensional objects. So we're going to cover pretty much quite a few things. So let me just tidy that hand up, and look at that. We just have to add the additional features to the hand. Oh, thank you for subscribing, by the way. 4D shapes here. I need to look that up myself first before I teach anyone. So how do you... So hold it. So how do we go from 2D to 3D? So if you look at this here, you can see two dimensions, right? You only see here. You don't see the whole. You don't see the three sides of this object. You only see. So for example, here we've got 1, 2, and 3. Or you have the length and the width, but you can't see the depth. So if you have, if you have, it's going in this direction and it's going upwards. These are two dimensions. The third is the thickness. This is the dimension you cannot see. If I was to draw this hand finished from the top here, and I continue it very quickly here, I'm going to just quickly do it. I'm not going to draw it properly. It's okay. Like that. This would be very flat. It's a flat hand, but now we can see some of the front, we can see some of the side, and we can see some of the top. How you doing, Jasper? Do you see that now? This box from the front would look flat like that. Good, Moose, I'm glad. This is what I thought, what should I do? Should I do this today? But this is so important. So, for example, why is this important? Because when you're drawing people or cars, or it doesn't really matter what you're drawing, usually it has a weight. It has depth to it. Yes, yes, that's right. See, everything has got, if I draw, say for example, if I draw a cup like this, right? So let's just draw a very basic cup. All we see, all we see is, they call it the X and Y axis, right? But I don't want to go too much into that. We're just seeing it very flat. However, if I draw that same cup again like this, now we are seeing some of the top and some of the side and so on and some of the back. If that was in a box shape, you would see, let's put that in a box. We would see the three faces again. We would see some of the top, which is the opening of the cup. So let's label that number 1 again. Number 2 would be this side. Number 3 would be, let's say, the back. That's why I'm doing the course, Jay. That's why, and I'm actually recording this. So if you want to watch this again, I'm actually recording this because I thought it was interesting. So if here we would have the 3 here, this would be our number 3. This would be the number 2, and the number 1 would be here. But now we see all 3 of them. We see our number 1, we see our number 2, and then we see the number 3. 3D. You have to get that right. You have to understand that. AJ, nice to see you. Okay. I always wondered what perspective. Yeah, perspective is it's going in the same direction. But we're not doing perspective today. How are you doing, AJ? I'm having trouble with orientation of the fingers. I did a hand one the other day. Literally, AJ, go onto my feed to go now. I did one on holding objects, and I think I posted it yesterday on my YouTube. It's literally, and I think it's hands holding swords or something. I need to rename it because it's not only swords, it's objects. But I did that yesterday. I'm going to flex. There you go. That's the goal, mate. That's the goal. Yeah, check it out. I think it will help you. Yeah, I did one yesterday. I literally did one yesterday. I don't know where it is. In fact, I think I did 2 yesterday. I think it was this one. Was it this one? No, I can't remember where it is. I've got 2. I do too many streams, and then I just lose track. I just throw them all in a box, and then I pull them out, and then I have a proper mess. So anyway, anyone got any questions about that? Anyone got any questions? And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you're not following, I think you should. Because there are a lot of people that are in this chat and they are following and they are learning a lot. Would you not say that, everyone? To all those that are following me, can you tell the people that are watching this and thinking, no, I'm not going to follow him. Tell them how much you've learned. Just be a salesperson for me. That would be fine. Okay, yeah, I haven't done one on shading the hand yet, but I will do one. Now you say that, I will do that. But not today. No, these are not the good ones. These are not the good muscle drawings. I can show you the good ones. There you go. These are the good ones. This is just a scrappy old sketch. This one gets thrown in the what do you call it? Scrap box, mate. It's the other ones you want to see. These are the good ones. You can't really see, it's reflecting. These are the good ones. So to all those that think I just do scrappy drawings like this, no. Yes, form basic principles. Exactly. So let's go into some basic principles. We're going to lead on to basic principles. If we have here, we're not going to worry too much about proportion, right? So all I'm going to say to you is, right, if I draw this shape here twice. So now what I'm going to say, you know, I think I've gone a little bit long here. I'm going to break it up here. All right. So if I draw this shape here. Now think about it in a three-dimensional way. Remember, we can only see two axes, right? So what I want you to understand is if I turn this, it will look like this. And if you don't understand, tell me. See, so these lines stay parallel. That means they never meet. These lines stay parallel in this case, right? So is everyone getting what I've just drawn here? If you're not getting it, tell me. So this is this, twisted. Yeah, you could, but you remember the muscles in the hand. I don't know if I would practice the muscles in the hand. I would more concentrate on the skin, because you don't really see the muscles. It depends on what your hands look like. But I think you should concentrate on maybe the skin and the folds. That draw of hand definitely was of your prime. Oh, okay, something else. Good, no problem. Idra, how you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, mate. So, is everyone getting that? This here is this here. So we've got it flat, which is 2D. Now we've got it here on the side, which is three-dimensional. Is everyone getting that? It's very important that you understand that. You get it. Good. Yeah, this is something you have to practice, because now we're going to go a little bit further. The muscles. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the muscles. I would worry more about the form and the folds. Yeah, I think you're on the right track there. How do you make your OC? Yeah, well, you just come up with something. Just have a random set of rules. You say, right, I want a female with an afro. She's in the 1930s and she's got, I don't know, a cyber gun or something. And then that's your start. I don't know how to do 4D because I don't know how to make artwork interact. So I don't know how to do that. I only use pen and paper. I don't use any other visuals to make it 4 or 5 or 6D. So, okay, I think everyone's getting that. Good. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So now, if I draw a person here, all right, so I'm drawing the rib cage like so. This is the spine at the back. Going to arc it here. So now, what I've drawn is within this shape here. This will look like this from the side. Or it should look like that. And then we have the spine at the back, and then we have our hips. Is everyone getting that? You see that? So that's where you have to look at the human body. If you're drawing the human body, you look at it. Now we're looking at it as a three-dimensional object. We see some of the front, we see some of the top, and we see some of the side. Very important, right? So, like I said to you before, if we're adding spherical objects to the body here, this is not a circle. It's a sphere. It has a mass, right? So we need to add the same here. It has a mass. Yeah, check my hand. Yeah, there's tons of them there. So now we've got a person. So then if when I break down the body, right, let's take this one here. I was drawing females yesterday here, as you can see, different types of females. So what I do is understand it. So for example, let's take this complicated leg, right? We've got this complicated leg here. What I draw is this. See that? That is this. I'm going to take it out so it doesn't reflect. You see that? That is simply this. So watch me turn that into a leg in under a minute, let's say. So I'm going to just fly through that. There you go. So now we've got a leg drawn up. We just have to add a little bit of shading where there's indentations in the muscle and stuff like that. But you can see how quickly I've turned that. I turned this shape here, and it's just a cylinder, right? Slightly wider at the top. Let's add a spherical object here, and then another cylinder here at the bottom. So that became a leg. So let me just see what's going on in the chat. Not sure if I'm overthinking it, but could you show some quick practice exercise? Well, this was a very quick practice exercise here that I've just shown you here. See, so for example here, that's a practice exercise. And I will be showing a few more as we go on. Yeah, we should just practice. I practice these things all the time. Look at that. I practice these things all the time. These are my practice sheets, and I have tons of these. So sometimes I'm listening to like a online podcast or whatever, and I just sit here scribbling around, practicing, experimenting. I don't even know what these bands are. I'm just trying to illustrate the 3D form, you know, and this is what I do all the time. I'm good, Luis. Do you use references for muscles? I remember a lot of them. I'm getting really good now. I have to say, I'm getting very good to the point that if I'm drawing even the leg, I can remember the actual how the bones. So if I'm drawing the bones first, I can actually I'm remembering how to draw the bones first, like I've illustrated here. Kneecap here, and we've got the hip area here, and this is all reference free, as you can see. And we've got two bones here. I won't bother to go into that, but then we can just turn like that, and then I will add, so for example, the rest of the muscle. Now I won't look anywhere. I'll just look at the artwork, and as you can see, you start to memorize, and the more you do it, the faster you get. And then I know there's roughly around 3 muscles that you see here. This ankle here is slightly higher, and we've got a muscle, a big thigh muscle like so. This all connects up, And then we've got another one along here. I don't know the names of them, and another one here. The back is a little bit of a problem. Drawing the back of the leg, I know how to draw it without all of the detail, but the front I've drawn many times, so I'm kind of getting good at drawing the front of the leg. So thank you to all of those that are hitting the like button. And if you like what you see, I appreciate it when you do hit the like button. And if you do follow, that is great. And you find I will be posting this video on my YouTube channel if you want to watch it again. Good stuff. So going back to what we were talking about 3D, right? So this here, as I showed you guys before, right? I remain loyal. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm loyal to you guys as well. I've had a bit of a week off, Jamal, but I'm back again. Remember this. Remember this. All right? This is what you need to remember. The cylinders, right? And someone was talking about foreshortening earlier. This is how we foreshorten something, right? So let's number these, right? Let's number that. Number 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right? Just these oval shapes now, but they're actually circular. So let's go. If I draw this, and I number them, what does that tell you? I love it that you can remember. I will make it one day. I do remember people actually. Yes, exactly. What I've just drawn here, it's a bit proportionally not perfect. I can see it already. But what I've just drawn here is this leg. Yeah, not a finger yet. Not yet, but you're going in the right direction. I've literally just drawn this leg here. So we got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got 4. All that's missing, obviously, is the kneecap and so on. Hi from bonjour from France. Ah, that's nice, Addis. That's nice. Please send it to your friends. Exactly. You see that? That is all that is. Just have that in mind. When you are struggling with if we've got, all right, I'm going to show you another thing, right? So if I draw this, I'm going to draw this. Who's going to get the prize today? Who's going to get the prize today? I wonder. What is that? I'm going to label. No, I'm not going to label them. What is that? No, not yet. Not yet. Oh, it could be. It could be. But I didn't actually think it was going to be an arm. So that would be 1 would be back here. 2 would be back here. 3 would be here. And 4's here. So now we've got someone sitting. If we do it well, the legs are a little bit heavy, but that's okay. We've literally got someone sitting with their knees towards us. Exactly. It's exactly the same thing as here, but just a different angle. So if you imagine you were to add the body to this person, that person would be sitting with their knees. I'm going to make the knees slightly bigger. Sitting towards us. Simplified. If you like what you see, please hit the like button. And if you're not following, I think you should think about it. Now, I'm not doing perspective today. I don't mix my lives. I have done a couple of videos on perspective. They're on my YouTube. But I don't mix the lives. Today I'm just talking about basic shapes. Just basic shapes. because then the live stream becomes 5 or 6 days long, and I don't have that much time. Is everyone getting that? Has anyone got any questions about that? Yes, you do the same thing for the arm. So say, for example, if, I'm going to turn this, yeah, I'm running out of space. So if, say, for example, if we're drawing an arm, all right, just like you see those dolls in the art shops, it's all right just looking at it, but you also have to break it down. You have to break down that object. Now we have an arm. So what I would say to you is draw the same arm again from a different angle. You see that? And then let's draw the arm again from another angle. Hand drawing tutorials you can find on my YouTube. So there you go. We've got an arm and a hand simply drawn up. There you go. 1, 2, and 3. And again, 1, 2, and 3. And again, 1, 2, and 3. I always, Byron, excuse me, I always start with the basic shape. And if you do get lost, that's when your basic shapes will help you, because you can correct it. It's very important. You correct it at the basic level. And then after that, that's when you start to put all the fancy stuff on it. For example, if I go, I don't know, let's go a little bit larger. So I'm going to go basic, 1, 2. I can check my proportion here, right? Okay, yeah, that's looking about right. Let's extend that a bit. 1, and then I'm going to go 2, 3. And then let's add our cylinders over this. So we've got our basic arm, right? And the hand I'm going to actually add here. I'm going to add the hand here. Just check that. Yeah, that's better. So we've got our hand, around here. So we've got our person standing or whatever with the hand up. So if this part is okay, that's when you take it to the next level. Only then do you say, right, okay, I'm going to take this to the next level now, because everything's in the right spot. And then you add all of your cool details. But only when your foundation is correct do you add your details. You see what I'm saying? I won't put too much on it, but you can see where it can go. Your characters look twinky. You're a little bit late, yes, and we are running out of time, unfortunately. What time do I start? I just start whenever I feel like it. I really don't have a specific time. I'm a bit of a rebel like that. I just think, and I don't even plan these. I just think, oh, what should I do today? What haven't I done for a while? And, you know, they're usually pretty cool. They work out quite well. So unfortunately, I can't promise any time. Sorry about that. I am. Good. Thank you, Turbulences, for telling everyone to subscribe. That is really nice. Appreciate that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not doing the full body. No, not today. Because then the tutorial just keeps going and going and going and going. Unfortunately, I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore. I stick to the one theme because it's beneficial for me. Because then I'm just like a Google tool, and I'll just give people free lessons, and then they probably don't even follow me. So I don't do that anymore. Unfortunately, not doing that anymore. I used to want to be the nice guy, but and I ended up just wasting a lot of time. Thank you, Reno. That's what I need. People to just watch the videos. Well, you want to get a human anatomy book and learn from that if you can. Is that to me, Byron? I've got an anatomy book. I'm drawing a lot of anatomy at the moment. I'm getting quite good at it, if I'm honest. It's which tutorial are you talking about? Ah, yeah, the body proportion one. Yeah, you're gonna have to scroll through. There's a few videos on there. There's about 90 videos there, and they're all a bit unedited in this kind of format. Just because I don't get the time to edit them. But they seem to be, people watch them. That's for sure. I can see the numbers. So you're welcome. Yes. So let's go. Real Bon, hang in there. Good, Judy. Okay. Any drawing? I will do that. Recommendations for day one. Any recommendations for day one? Just follow me. Right. I'm just going to run to the gents, and then we're going to draw a full body here, right? So look at this while I run away, and then we're going to break down the body very quickly. So back again. The book I've got is called, the guy's name is Gottfried Bammers. His name is, so if you want to look him up, but that's a German book. I can't show the book due to copyright reasons. That's the book I've got, the anatomy book I've got. So now let's break down the body parts, right? So like you just saw me draw the arm like this, and then you just saw me draw the thigh literally like this. This is how you draw the human thigh. Yeah. And you saw me draw the human calf like this. So this is how you draw the calf. Simplified. Yeah. You saw me draw the hand like that. The body like that. So this is basically these are basically the things that you have to understand. If you're drawing a foot, you draw a foot basically like this. It's like a wedge. And then you have your ankle and that goes up and so on. So this is how you draw the human feet. When I draw characters, or if I draw a person and I draw a foot from the front, I draw it like this. I simply draw a triangle, then I draw a slanted line, and then I draw the toes like so, and then you can draw the rest of the details of the ankle and so on. From the side, the human foot looks like this. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. This is what the human foot looks like from the side. So as you can see, I've not oversimplified it, I've simplified it. And this helps when you want to, say, for example, draw the foot. You just have to add the relevant details. You add the calf, your Achilles details. And now we have a foot from the side. We have that same foot from the front. We just have to continue with the calf muscle and so on. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button. How would you know? Well, that's to do with your body proportion. Usually from head to hips, where your hip joints are with regards to your upper thigh, it's usually around 3 heads, 2.5 to 3 heads, but everybody is different. It's not 100% the rule. Oh, no problem, Byron. No problem. I didn't take offense to it in any way. No problem at all. It didn't mention anyone, so I was wondering if it was addressed to me. No problem. Same. Good. Do it in perspective. Yeah, that's a different tutorial. We will do bodies in perspective. That's for sure. I like to practice these things before I just jump into them as well. Sounds reminds me of someone history book. Okay, I'm missing some of this. I'm gonna tune in more live. Let me see. Yes, I'm working a lot on anatomy at the moment, and usually I draw with the pen, but now I'm drawing with the pencil, so you can expect to see some cool stuff with the pencil. I did this last night. That was drawn live. I will be posting that, so you will see I did this from start to finish live, so you will see how I built this up. If that's interesting to you, I feel like drawing anything. Understanding how to, exactly, it's understanding shapes. LXD, how you doing? 1 stream a day. It has been 1. No, yesterday was 2. Yeah, I think once you start mastering the hands and feet, you and the face, then you are on the right track, because the rest is I say it, I don't want to say it's easier. It becomes a little bit easier. The worst parts are the hands. Drawing the hands and, body motion is also a bit tricky, How is the leg going? I think I did a couple. I don't know which one you're talking about. I think you're talking about another one, but that one, I did another one with the foot, and I'm going to do the foot again, because the foot is quite complicated. The anatomy of the foot is really complicated. And I did this one. So let's get back into it. And I'm already seeing that I'm improving already. That is really scary. It's only been a week and I'm improving, and it's really quite strange, because I drew this one last week, right? I'm just going to give you a comparison. I drew this one last week and I thought it was great. And then I drew this one a week later. We are talking 1 week. Look at the difference. You see this one? See that one? And then you see this one. There's a huge difference. Huge. If I say so myself. So we'll see where it goes. We will see where it goes. I'm sure I'm on the right track. Join my YouTube, Toothless, and thank you for the kind gifts. I am actually helping you anyway. I'm here. I have a question. How do you draw the face? Right, we're going to do the face and then I have to wind it down. I've been drawing seriously for the last 11 months. But before I've always drawn. Oh, Brian, thank you for the kind gifts, mate. I appreciate those. Nick and Idra. The best is yet to come. I can honestly say to you all, the best is yet to come. And I feel it. And I even look at these now and I think, I can do that better. That is the scary part. Because I've only been doing anatomy. I started last week. I did an anatomy week and I haven't put it down yet. And I've noticed that I've made some serious jumps already. So I think I'm going to continue for another week. Thank you very much, Byron. I'm just going to scroll down a bit. Next Rose, you need to jump onto my YouTube for that. And it's called The Crooked House. Look up The Crooked House hand drawing technique on my YouTube. It's Art Walker. Thank you for the roses, Edwin. I want to learn how to draw hands. I did that yesterday. You'll find it on my feed. Excuse me, on my YouTube. I'm lucky. Don't cry, mate. Don't cry. You'll make me start welling up as well. I mainly draw commissions. Well, that's my goal. My goal is to... I do this for free because I grew up in London and I didn't go to art college. And I want to show people. That's why I use the most basic pens, the most basic paper. Because I want to encourage people to draw. Step away from the devices. I know we're using a device, but at least we are trying. We're interacting. We're working towards our artistic skills, and these are the skills that we have to hold on to. That's my opinion. I have an upside down heart and the spine, so wait. Wait, we're going to get there. So look, let's just finish up very quickly. Very quickly. We are going to draw the human head. Spherical object. So you could imagine it's like a bowling ball or a Baby Bell cheese, right? Head drawing, we're not going to go deeply into it, but 1, 2. So we have this triangular shape placed onto a bowling ball, so to say. This line runs through the middle. So this tells us where our ears belong. And then we continue to add the eyes, placeholder for the nose, placeholder for the mouth. We can tidy that chin up, so maybe a little bit angular. But face drawing, we're going to do that in more depth in a full tutorial. But this just gives you an idea as to how to construct a human head. And if you are not aware, check my face drawing and skeletal head. I can draw a skeletal head here. But this is how we would construct a face using very basic elements. So now I'm going to go very quickly into how we would draw the human body. So let's draw a straight line down here. I'm going to have to do it quite small. Usually it's around 8, but you don't have to listen to this. It's around 8 heads high. So this head here, I'm just going to quickly construct it here. And then in theory, you should be going down 1, 2, 7.5, 8 heads high. Then we have shoulders, and then we have the torso, and the hips is around 3. So the hips are roughly around here. Then we add the body. Let's add the body like so. And then we add the arm. So in theory, we would just be adding cylinders here. And the legs are usually, not always, but usually around 4 heads. But everybody's different. I've got a friend and he's really tall. So that wouldn't work for him. And then we add the rest of the arm here. Oops, my alarm's gone off, so I'm rushing through it now. So, and then as I said here, we would add our triangle for the feet. Everywhere you see a circle is a joint. And then we would simply add these basic elements that we talked about earlier to construct our person. See, like so. Just like that. Please go to my YouTube if you want to find how to drop the pen. Thank you, Turbulences. I haven't done that for a while. That's funny. That is funny. That is drop the pen. Yeah, I haven't done that for. I have to start picking up the drop the pen again. I haven't done that for a while. But that's how you take basic elements and then you turn them into more complicated. And then obviously, let's change the pen color again. Turn it into the Incredible Hulk. We can add our anatomy on top of that. So basically what we've done is we just built a foundation. We just built the foundation for our muscles. And that will help you when you're drawing your own characters and you want to show some definition or whatever. I don't really design characters or anything like that. I just simply draw. So I'm not a character designer as such. I have dabbled in it, but I'm not a character designer. I'm just the art guy. Good. Okay, I think we've pretty much covered everything today. Oh, yeah, that's nice. That is really nice. And to all those that are not subscribed, please do so. Subscribe to my YouTube if you want to support me as I want to support you. And just follow me on TikTok. Thank you. Before it's too late. No, I shouldn't say it like that. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will be posting this on my TikTok feed. And I will definitely post this on my YouTube within the next day or so, if you missed it. So I wish you all a lovely day. Thank you for attending. We covered quite a bit, and I'm sure it will help you. Remember, this is the foundation of drawing. It's just lines and circles and arcs and so on. And then you just take it further and further and further. Have a good one, everyone. You're more than welcome. And I hope to see you all again soon. And as I said before, if you're not subscribed, please do so. That would help me as I'm trying to help you. Take care. Bye-bye.